Well, it's everything very exciting. Something that has been in the making for 3 decades. It was just an idea, and then it started to be a project more than 20 years ago. We finally are seeing this opening that some of us thought that it was going to be impossible. And also the mood of the Egyptians is really of a proud country, of a country that wants to see their nation, their economy, even their lives moving forward. And this is a symbol for the government of all of that. They want to send a message. They want this to be the museum of humanity. And somehow, with this image that we are witnessing today, they are achieving it.
What are we going to see tonight? Talk us through the light show, the figures arriving, how it will pan out.
We're going to have more than 50, almost 80 heads of state, royalties, and people, representatives of all over the world. Some of them will be the Spanish king. We will have also prime ministers, and we are expecting all of them to attend this opening that has already started with the concert, and we're going to see an Egyptian director with over 200 musicians. More than half of them are Egyptians, but the rest are from other parts of the world. So as I was mentioning before, this is a symbol of Egypt, but it's a symbol that Egypt wants to share. So for them, everything that is going to be ready today, including the walk and the visit of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, is something that is meant to be shared. It's not something to be kept only for Egyptians. It's something that it's supposedly going to imply the participation of all those that are looking at their screens on their phones, on their TVs, and even outside here in Egypt, there are screens everywhere where people will be able to actually watch the ceremony.
We're just watching as we talk to you, the former Grand Duke of Luxembourg arriving, Henri, Guillaume, his son, has recently taken over, and also the Prime Minister of Luxembourg as well. Nuria, the other thing we're seeing, and we're going to see centre stage, I imagine, throughout the ceremony tonight, is President Sisi, and it's been a turbulent time for him. Eve touched upon it, Doug a little bit as well. Talk through the difficult geopolitics of trying to get this museum opened. I think, we're going back to 2012, 2010, there was some hope that it would happen, and then the Arab Spring arrived.
Well, the Arab Spring was an incredible movement that brought hope to the country, and where many were asking for freedom, for dignity, for bread. They wanted to improve the country. So it was incredible, but it also caused some sort of rupture in the functioning of many things in the country until it got back on track, and there was again a functional government. So what happened in 2011 was exactly that. When this project was actually starting to work, it stopped. And we had today Mr. Lanani, that has been recently named director of UNESCO, saying that it's been in the past 6 or 7 years that they have done the most, that they have advanced the most, and that it has been also a personal project, a personal intention of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi as soon as he took power, to put this back on track and to achieve this project. It's taken 20 years, but it's, as I'm sure that you've been mentioning the figures, like it's almost 500,000 square meters of not only galleries, but also an incredible conservation center. So it's really, really huge.
Nuria, we're just still watching these world leaders arriving. The Greek Prime Minister, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, Gustavo Petro, the Colombian leader as well. One thing that fascinates me is ordinary Egyptians and conversations you're having with them, Nuria, what it means to them. I heard some suggestions. I think there was David Sim, an urban planner that's lived in Cairo for 50 years, saying that it's got its own airport dedicated to it. It's got everything that you could imagine you would need. But what happens to visitors, to tourists, to old Cairo?
Well, for Egyptians, it's a matter of pride. They feel really proud that this is happening. Somehow, we have witnessed over the years how they've, many of the Egyptian antiquities that they are very protective of have been stolen or are being displaced in museums around the world. They have been particularly demanding of the bust of Nefertiti, for instance. So for them, having these pieces all around the world, it's a matter of pride. But also, they believe that it's something very important for them to preserve, to keep their heritage. So most of the Egyptians that I've talked to feel incredibly proud, but also they believe that it was about time to have a place where they could actually show their own heritage without having others representing themselves. I mean, this is the biggest museum of the world, the biggest devoted to one single civilization. And for them, it's a way of looking back and feeling that with all that all Egyptians were able to build, they can take somehow this culture, this heritage, this knowledge, and they are able to build something for the future. You were mentioning economy. If we talk in economical terms, Egyptian tourism income, it amounts to actually almost 8% of the wealth of the country. So today, some of the figures that we're mentioning during the opening press conference was that they are receiving around 15 million tourists every year, and they are expecting at least to increase in another 5 million. I mean, they have seen how since the revolution that we were mentioning before, there was an enormous decline and the economy was very affected because of that. But now, little by little, they have been recovering, and they are hoping, they are putting all their expectations in this huge project. So for them, has already brought employment, but they are expecting it to increase in the coming years.